What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister Deborah.
What's up?
And my brother Derek.
What's up?
And this week we're talking about Loki, Season 2, Episode 1. And I have to say, right off the bat, I'm like, Marvel, how come all your shows can't be like this? Yeah. I really enjoyed this show.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah. I was into it. I thought it was really great. I think they did a great job. Deborah disagrees.
I think great is a strong word.
Okay.
I think it started off a little too slow. There was a lot of talking in circles about things, just getting to the point about what the plot of this show was going to be. They could have shortened that up some. And I also feel like either they need to drop 2 episodes at once or make the episodes longer. Because I feel like when you finally got going, you ended it. Right. And either cut out the first 10 minutes of that nonsense they was talking about.
But that wasn't nonsense.
It was nonsense.
Well, okay,
or
so
make it
explain
longer.
what's the nonsense.
I just feel like they were talking in circles about what was really happening, right?
Well, they had to figure it out. They didn't know what was happening.
But my thing is, I'm watching it. Just get to the point quicker.
Okay.
But see, that's the whole point with the TVA, because for them, there is no time. They're not in.
That stuff has nothing to do with anything. They dragged the first 10 minutes out when they could have got to the point a lot quicker.
But see, that was kind of the thing. What in the first season, it was just okay, how you're looking at time in the timeline, that means nothing to us. So it was just they don't have a sense of urgency. They're never quick to do anything except for pruning variants.
No, I'm disagreeing with that assessment.
Okay.
That's nonsense.
I mean, I will say I disagree that it was slow. I didn't think it was slow. I was interested in what they were saying and learning about the lore and everything and the world building. I thought that was great.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Just great is a strong word for this first episode. It wasn't.
Okay. All right. I thought it was a strong opening. My bad.
It was. I thought it was too.
But I still think Loki's one of the best Marvel shows, even with this first.
I know. I agree with you there, and I think that they can improve. But I just feel like with everything else that has been so mediocre coming out before this, I don't know. I just feel like you might want to start out stronger.
Oh, I thought it was a strong start.
I thought it was too.
All right. Well, but we know Deborah's a bit more critical than us usually.
Yeah.
So there's that. But anyhow, we come in to this episode ending from the last one. So Sylvie killed He Who Remains, and therefore all the chaos from the timeline has started, and Loki got sent back to the TVA. We thought he was being sent back and it just changed the timeline, but it turns out that he was just sent back into the TVA in the past, which is an interesting concept. I think they did it well with the time slipping. I know that it's okay, you probably it goes on too long and they don't solve it to the very end of the episode, but there was a lot of explanation in the time slipping. If we didn't have it, we don't get him going into a past in that war room, hearing the recording. I think I think there was a lot of lore there, a lot of world building in that section, which I thought was really interesting.
I'm gonna say yes and no. There was some, but I just don't think it should have taken as long to get to that point. You know what I mean? It's how many times he slipped. They're just walking down the hallway and he slips in and out 3 times. I don't need that. Okay. The whole thing with OB. Okay, OB is cool and all, but again, I just felt like getting to that point just took too long.
What, with him talking to him in the past?
Yes.
You didn't like that?
It took too long.
I thought it was entertaining.
I thought it was entertaining.
I'm just get to it already.
Okay. Well, he does. So they go down to the what is he research and development?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And so they go down to him, and Loki time slips to the past. So OB in the present is remembering the conversation with Loki in real time, which is an interesting concept. Now, this is a different time travel than we've gotten in Marvel.
Again, did they break their own rule?
I do not think so, no.
How?
Because the kind of time travel that the Avengers did is different. He is time slipping because he is moving along the same timeline. The Avengers jumped to another timeline that was similar to their own in order to get the Infinity Stones, but they did not. So that's why it goes back.
I'm fine with it. I was just wondering if you thought. No, I don't. I didn't think they did. I was just wondering if you thought they did.
Yeah, no,
I don't care.
I didn't.
Time travel is dumb. So whatever rule they want to make up on
we
the spot,
talked about it a lot
because
time travel can never make sense. Like it just it can never make sense. But yeah, I mean, for execution of it, I think they did it well. Also, we learned the TVA actually has a past and a future because they're not supposed to.
Right.
I guess they're just existing.
Yeah. So and that's why they were saying that he's not supposed to be time slipping inside the TVA.
Yeah. But whatever broke with He Who Remains broke that too. And I guess the theory would be that the TVA is on its own timeline outside of the Marvel Universe timeline, but it does have its own timeline.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, the gist of the episode is they have to stop Loki from time slipping, so that's what they're doing. But also the Loom, which is a new thing for this season, is being overloaded from all of the different time streams. So I think this confirms a theory from last season.
Okay.
And that was that the sacred timeline wasn't just one timeline. It's a bunch of timelines like woven together. As long as they don't make a Kang variant. So what He Who Remains was doing was clipping everything that would make a Kang variant, but everything else would continue
after. Yeah.
Which answers the question, why wasn't Sylvie pruned the minute she was born as a female? So she could have continued on that timeline until whatever she did happen. Yeah. No.
I have zero cares.
Oh, okay. I don't even know why I'm talking to you.
I have zero cares about this timeline.
That's what the whole show is about.
I don't care.
That's what the show is about.
That is literally what the show is about.
That's fine, but excuse me. I don't really care how the timeline works.
But I don't get how you don't care about it, because that's how what the show's about.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Or what do you care about with Loki?
If the show was entertaining, then it could be.
What parts do you care about?
I'm just saying, like, I didn't give much thought to, like, how come they didn't prune her right away? And
well, because like that's a big variant difference, right? So like, why wouldn't she get pruned right away? And so it's not one timeline; it's a bunch. Obviously being made into the sacred timeline. It is something
I gave zero thought about.
All right. Cool. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe that's why this is why she didn't find this episode interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, we're getting answers to questions and stuff from last season. And she's just like, yeah.
For one, I never watch TV, just yada yada. I don't know. I don't care.
Okay. Well, for the audience that cares, I think that does answer that question from last season, because I think it was a question like, okay, what exactly are you doing? It can't be just one timeline, because how do we have a Hulk Loki and stuff? How does that make sense?
I didn't realize those were questions we need to be asking, but okay.
Yeah, well, you got to pay attention to the fine details.
Right. Because it was like, at the time, it was only He Who Remains. And so it was just like, if everyone has a variant, why is there only one of him? So when he gave his speech, it was saying that there are many of him. But it was like, he has been guarding the timeline this whole time. But if you get rid of me, then there's going to be plenty of me that you cannot stop.
Yeah, so the red line, the Nexus event or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
those are the ones that lead to another Kang variant, which he wants to avoid.
Right.
So yeah, there we go. Yeah. But that's all this episode was really about.
Yeah.
You know, so we had to stop Loki from time slipping, stop the loom from blowing up, which they haven't done yet.
No, they have not.
No, they have. It's still being overloaded by the timeline. And Loki wants to find Sylvie. She was at the TVA in the future.
And said weird. That there you are.
Yeah. But then he got pruned and they didn't show us who did it. Yeah.
Right.
So there's the question: who pruned him? Why was the phone ringing? So who's calling that? And what was Sylvie doing at the TVA? Which I guess we're going to circle back around to probably in the season finale. Why should he be pruned by himself?
Probably. Which is fine because he needed to anyways,
yeah,
right?
He did.
So
yeah.
Good, because he was wasting time answering random telephones.
Yeah, I was like, why are you walking so slow, bro?
Yeah.
Right.
It's in the green. You need to go. Like, he's just walking and looking around. I'm like, dude, find a little sticky thing and go to the armory. Don't they have one of those?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I don't know why he was looking through people's desks.
So there were a few other things. We talked about the armory. So the one lady, general lady, was talking about they were going after Sylvie, but it seems like she's going to start cutting off timelines. Like, she had a bunch of people going.
Yeah, that's what was it? B15 said it seems like more than enough, too many people for it just to pruning one person.
Yeah,
like they're doing something extra.
Yeah,
which I'm sure that will get explained later on.
So yeah, and there's the divide because B15 wants to, like, she wants to let it just explode basically, but they can't because, I mean, she doesn't know about it, but the whole loom thing, so you can't just let it go off crazy. Also, so Loki now doesn't want to do that because he's afraid of all the Kangs coming. So it's interesting, like, what direction they're going to go with that. Also, I guess all of the other multiverse shenanigans they did doesn't necessarily mean it had to have been an effect by Loki, like with Spider-Man and stuff.
Right.
If we had multiple timelines that fit within the quote unquote sacred timeline, then, you know, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and
Andrew
Garfield, thank you. His Spider-Man technically might have still existed in the sacred quote unquote timeline, as long as it didn't lead to another Kang variant.
Yeah.
Y'all be thinking about this?
Yes, this is what you're supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
She says she never watches TV. Like, yeah.
I never thought about, like, I mean, oh, whatever. There's other Spider-Mans. I don't care what timeline is on.
That's what the whole thing's about.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like this is the perfect lead to Kang Dynasties.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, like, you know, you have all these different worlds, and then they're being combined. But in the comic book, I think it was like it ended up being Battle World. So that's
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they're gonna use the Hugh Jackman Logan again and stuff. They're gonna get to do all of that. And they're not gonna pass that opportunity yet. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. They haven't done anything with X-Men, so.
Well, they said Deadpool 3 is confirmed that it will be also dealing with splitting of timelines, and that basically Deadpool in his own way is trying to fix the timeline as well.
Yeah, because they're doing Deadpool kills a universe. It's probably the Fox universe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that comic is stupid. I know people like it. It's dumb.
I
Deadpool
read
kills the Marvel universe.
I read the synopsis of it. It's dumb.
I watched the video. They do those videos with the person like explaining the comic book. I watched it. I was like, oh, this comic is stupid. I lost a bunch of fans there, but I'm sorry. That comic's stupid.
You should do a too long don't read.
TLDR.
They don't do those anymore.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I like those. I mean, it
was
saves me a
nice.
lot of time.
Yeah, because it's too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to write a letter to Marvel until they bring them back.
All right, I will.
Yep.
One other thing that was brought up here. So we got that recording with He Who Remains talking to Ravonna Renslayer. And so basically she was running the show with him in the past. So I don't know if she knew that last season or if her mind was erased again. She didn't seem that bothered by the fact that the timekeepers were fake.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it might have still just been her. Like she knew this
I
whole
think
time.
she's the one person who knows everything that's happening.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget that like she was his, you know, his girl in the
His
comics.
lady friend?
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna explore that. I'm like, what is she doing? She left last season. I'm like, I'm gonna figure out what was her plan. Also, I came up with a few theories. Right.
Okay.
So I think the TVA, which is its own thing in the comics, but I think here it is Chronopolis. I think that's what they're using.
I don't know what that is.
That's the tiny little the city that in the negative zone, whatever. It's where Kang the Conqueror lives. He's like has a protected zone outside of time.
So like in you know, in Ant-Man, the city that he wanted the her to help him fix his ship.
Yeah.
And then she touched it and saw that once the ship gets out, how he uses it to destroy everything. So the city that he stays in is kind of like that, but like DJ said, it exists outside of time. I feel like I watched something recently and they were talking about existing outside of time.
Well, yeah. Because we saw in Ant-Man 1 when he was shrinking down into the...
It was there?
Yeah. It was... I don't know how people picked this up, but they did. It was like for like a frame or whatever. He passed by and they had the city there.
And so you think the TVA is actually that?
Yeah. I think so. Because like it's Kang was there, he's running it, it's got like all his stuff is technically outside of the timeline. I'm like, I don't know, it kind of fits. This might be a wild theory.
But what would be the point?
Because he then from that point he can go anywhere.
No, not Kang. What would be the point of Marvel making it that? Instead of just the TVA?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the point would be. But they've mixed and matched a lot of different things. So
yeah, I know. I think it's better if it's not.
Oh, maybe. I mean, but I don't know because now you got Ravonna Renslayer there, and now we've established that Kang was using that as his base of operations. It kind of seems to fit it, but
okay.
I don't know. That's my theory. I could be wrong.
I mean, it's not a bad theory. I just don't see the point of Marvel changing it.
True.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What else about this episode?
I mean, that was basically it. Loki, they did the thingy, and Loki came back and said, we got to find Sylvie. Sylvia's in 1982.
Yeah, in Oklahoma, eating all the McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, Broxton has significance in the comics. I guess that's where Thor be kicking it. Apparently, in the comics.
Yeah, somebody did mention that. Yeah. I don't think that's gonna.
I don't think it means anything. Yeah. I just picked it because it's a city they use often in the comics.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was trying to think like, did 1982 Oklahoma have any significance worldwide? But it does not.
No.
Because I mean, they just usually you'd be like, oh, we went here and like, oh, remember that year this happened, but nothing happens in Oklahoma in 1982.
Okay.
Yeah. So no.
Yeah.
I think she's just randomly there.
Yeah.
It was like, okay. I don't know why that was the extra scene. I'm like, okay, cool. She's in Oklahoma, but didn't really do
I guess because they just wanted to show you where Sylvie was.
Like, okay, here's what happened with Sylvie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think her location matters much, but she has to be somewhere.
Yeah.
So, there she is.
Okay, cool. All right. So then we gotta find out what happens next time. I thought like I want to know what happens next. That's why I guess I thought it was good. Also, I don't know. Again, I felt like it was more engaging than a lot of the past. I'm just comparing this just to Marvel TV, and Marvel TV hasn't been that great in a while. So
No, we haven't had nothing good since Loki.
since no, I
may
still like Hawkeye, but I don't think it was as
Hawkeye,
compelling
you
as
forget
this.
it exists.
I know, yeah.
That's because people forget that Hawkeye exists.
No, it's like Hawkeye.
Also that.
I thought it was enjoyable while I was watching it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I forget that it's a thing.
I feel that way about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, that was just
and that
okay.
wasn't bad either.
That was okay. I mean, like I said, Miss Marvel was okay. I thought that was okay. I mean, Moon Knight was
I skipped the middle
alright.
episodes.
You can actually with Miss Marvel. I've said it time and time again. I think Miss Marvel was filled with a lot of filler every episode. It was like the beginning of the episode was important, the end of the episode was important. In the middle, I don't know, we just threw a bunch of stuff in, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and I know Deborah disagrees, but I feel like this episode for me was more compelling as first episode than a lot of the other shows.
Yeah.
More than WandaVision?
No, I didn't say it was,
Oh.
I didn't say that. And then like WandaVision gave us 2 episodes.
Which
So,
I think Disney needs to do.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because their first
unfair
episodes
comparison.
just kind of just ends and you be like, oh, come on, Disney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. They need to drop. Either make them 40 minutes long or drop 2 episodes.
Yeah. So is this gonna be 6 episodes again?
I think so. Let me look at it. Real quick.
Who chose the 6 episode thing? Why is it
I
always
don't
6
know.
episodes?
Because they be struggling to fill up 8.
It's weird. That's a weird season length. Okay, like seasons were like 12 episodes. What?
I would even be okay with 10.
Can they fill in 10 episodes? They be struggling.
Or if it's short, like Sherlock, like that was like a 3-episode season.
Yeah, but
it
each
was movie
episode was
length.
like 90 minutes.
Yeah, it was a movie every episode.
Yeah, which perfect.
Like I remember rewatching that once, and I was like, "Oh wait, all this happened in the first
A
episode."
lot happens.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's going to be
happens.
6.
Boo.
Yeah, I
don't like the 6 episode thing. I mean, if you can't get writers to figure out how to make it a series, then make it a movie. I don't know. Like
6 is too short.
Yeah.
because I feel like you should be using the time to flesh out the characters more, which I know that the shows do, but I think they can do it more. Like if we compare Daredevil with how they were able to build those characters to this, is like I think you could do more. But then they act like with a lot of these shows they can't even figure out how to do that, because like how do you have a 6-episode series and then it be a bunch of empty space? I don't understand.
Yeah, if you're only gonna have 6 episodes, then you got to make the most out of those 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And they be struggling.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe they can do it and you pick up the pace, and that's what they're gonna do.
It's probably going to pick up the pace, I think. This was kind of your introduction. First episodes are usually slower. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Which is why they need to drop 2 of them.
Okay. You're just used to this this binging mentality that you've gotten with streaming.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
There's
one
always
thing.
a pilot episode.
Yes, they can
Well, this
always
isn't the pilot.
even on network television. A lot of times the pilot is dropped with another episode because they already know the first episode is weak.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, we need to keep you, so we'll give you a taste of the second one.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So, well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good season. Of course, we have to see what they do with the rest of it. But I think Loki is going to remain one of the stronger series that Marvel puts out.
I mean, I get that, and also it's a low bar to.
Very low bar.
But I mean, it still has to keep up with its last season. You know, you want it to be either just as good or semi good, but you don't want it to be bad.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they have done it like with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That show got better as it went on.
It
and
did.
then not better, but
Yeah, I mean, it went from like, why is this a show?
Mm-hmm.
To like, this is good to that was okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. It's like Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I like the seasons in the middle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, it's 3 seasons in the middle.
The problem with that is I think that was something that didn't need to be 20 episodes.
It didn't need to be 20.
Like,
They
I
could've
don't-
got away with it.
But it
12
also
episodes
came
season.
on ABC.
So it had to be 20 because you needed the full season.
Yeah, but it's the like when they were in the future on the spaceship,
Oh, that lasted way too long.
it lasted too long.
Yeah.
Just, if that was like 12, 15 episodes.
And the
I think
searching
it-
of the monoliths.
Yeah.
Lasted way too long.
I think they could have trimmed off about 5 episodes on each
Yeah.
of those seasons.
But man, when Gemma was on the other planet, though,
Yeah.
I was good. And then the LMDs was good too.
Yeah. With, on the other planet with Hive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hive was good too. I think that's where I stopped watching, actually. I got up to once Hive came back as Ward, and I haven't picked up since then.
That's where you stopped?
Yeah.
So you didn't see the future spaceship season?
No, I watched the entire thing in my rewatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay.
And basically, they ended saying it's on another timeline.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Right, because there's no way he's director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Well, also, they stopped matching up with the movies. You know how, like, it used to be like, okay,
Yeah.
and this happened,
Mhm.
and then it's like, okay, this is, okay.
Yeah, it was just stuff just happening.
Mhm.
Stuff that'd be like, wouldn't the Avengers or more prominent S.H.I.E.L.D. people be involved in this?
hmm
Or they should have been affected by the blip.
Or that.
Well, the timeline of Infinity War didn't match up either. It lasted longer. They didn't do their calculations right. It was longer than it was in the movie.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then they explained that they were existing outside of the timeline when the blip happened.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, that's how they explained
Why
it.
didn't they just explain that they just didn't?
Did they talk about the blip on the show? I thought they just
didn't.
ignored it.
The second to the last episode, yeah.
Oh, they should have
Yeah.
just kept ignoring
They
it.
just ignored because I mean
Because it's
not
like how the show ended. Basically, that's what explained on why everybody ended up where they were, because it was saying like they existed outside of that timeline of.
I don't need that
happened.
explanation. This
Or-
is just a different Phil Coulson, and our Phil Coulson in the MCU proper is dead.
Dead. Yeah.
I get it.
They could have just ignored it or just be like, small odds, none of them got blipped away.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Also very convenient.
Also convenient that the 6 original Avengers made it.
Well, we needed this because they were the Avengers.
But I'm just saying, it's not. It's
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
very
none of
convenient.
the 6 got blipped away.
yeah. So I'm just saying, it is possible that, there's possible that a family did not get blipped away. That whole family remained.
Yeah, a whole
Yeah.
family. Yeah, and you know it happened. Oh man, people were probably angry at them. Like,
Probably.
oh, you didn't lose anyone.
So I'm just saying, a
Yeah.
family of 5 or 6, and that whole. It's not impossible that no
Yeah.
one from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. team would have gotten blipped away.
Yeah. Can you imagine that though? You have a whole family, no one got blipped, but then you got like the mother and father blipped, but the kids are still there,
Oh my God.
and then vice versa.
There's so many implications
Yeah,
to this.
you
I'm
got
like,
a
oh
lot
my
of
God.
angry people.
No, because you got like there's an infant whose parents disappeared,
Well,
and the
maybe-
infant died.
No, they probably have good neighbors.
hmm
I'm thinking that they have good neighbors and they would check on and make sure everyone was okay, and they would notice that the child was by himself, and they take him in while they wait for his parents to return.
And then they seek for revenge for Thanos for blipping his parents away.
And everybody who died in plane crashes because the pilot blipped away, they didn't come back
Not because they're just dead.
because they just died.
Yeah.
What was I watching? And I'm like, I feel like this answers the question because everyone. Oh, I was watching Dragon Ball. Sorry. But everyone talks about how like, oh, well, if Hulk used it and got everybody back, what about people who were, the Earth's not in the same spot. Like, obviously, it's not, it's in a different spot.
Yeah.
People who were in the airplanes where they just spawn back in the air or whatever. And I'm like, no. And I thought about it because, Dragon Ball does the same thing. Characters die and then they get the Dragon Balls and they wish them back, right?
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad I never watched that show.
I enjoy it. I'm not going to tell. That's one. I know I tell you to watch other things. I'm not going to tell you to watch Dragon Ball. But I'm like, in it, they literally in there and they had to verbalize theirs, right? And they're like, we want them back safely on Earth, right? Like,
but I thought
because they addressed it in the show. They were like, oh, but the planet was blowing up. And they're like, if we wish them back, they're going to come back here. And it's like, okay, we wish them back to Earth. And like, we don't know what Hulk thought. He could have just did that. Like,
I
let's
thought
bring
there was a
everybody
show
back
or
safely.
something that explained that Hulk was, can say, like, everyone returns safely.
Yeah.
I thought that was explained somewhere.
But, there's people that make it.
I was like, they're trying to be technical, but
well,
there's only so many technical things you can
Well, I mean, if
add
people
to
were on the
something
plane and
that's
got
fictional.
blipped away, and now, okay, obviously there's no plane anymore.
Yeah.
So they just fall thousands of feet to the earth. Like, come on.
I need that, though. I need a show where somebody come back in the middle of the air in the seated position and start falling. Oh, my goodness.
It was like, why even come back at all? Because they're dying instantly again.
So.
Oh, my gosh. Or like someone could return in a spot that someone already is.
Okay.
Or maybe I built a wall in this house.
They blip back and they in the wall.
Okay, so I don't think any of that happened.
No.
Yeah. Back to Loki. What I think is interesting is we kind of get to use this show and keep Loki dead in the movies.
Yeah.
Because now Loki's operating, if he stays within the TVA, which I think he will for the entirety of the show, either he dies at the end of it or he remains as someone working at the TVA. He's outside of the timeline. So maybe he's affecting things in the MCU, but he doesn't get to come back into the movies. Making his death in the movies remain like impactful and real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree. I don't know. Like, he's not making a reappearance to the MCU, so.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that Loki's dead, and this is the 2012 Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
the 2012 Loki that went through all of the MCU character development in one episode. So
it only takes one episode.
Okay. Like, he just had to watch a movie about himself.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess that's all. We don't rate first episodes.
Right.
We'll return at the end of the season, though. Definitely for Loki. We don't always return, but for Loki, we'll do the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or if we have nothing better to do, we can review another episode.
Yeah.
If
it gets really good, like if it's a really good episode, we'll do a review of it.
Yeah.
But what did you think about Loki? Were you agreeing with Deborah? Was it just blah, or did you think it was interesting?
I didn't say it was blah.
You really seemed like you thought that.
I think it's going to be fine. I think the second season is going to be fine. You guys were like, oh, it was great or whatever. I just thought the first episode was just okay, and it took too long to get to the point.
Okay, all right.
I mean, blah. I didn't say that. I mean, I don't be sitting there thinking about the timeline either, but okay.
Look, just in the comments, let us know how much you disagree with Deborah and all right.
Y'all can write letters. I will respond.
Hey, look, you know what? I learned it probably works everywhere else, but at least on YouTube, even apparently thumbs down still helps you. Like, as long as people are engaging with the video, it still helps you. So I'm like, oh, I thought a thumbs down would be like, oh, YouTube's not going to show that. No, it's because the person watched the video and they engaged with it. So now it's going to be shown to more people. So probably the same thing with every other platform. So if you dislike our podcast, make sure you let us know.
Let us know. Hit that thumbs down.
Hit that thumbs down. Write your angry comments in whatever comment section you have there and let us know. But with that being said, we will be back next time. What was my ending? We will catch you in the next one.